Alright, here we go. Alright, so this video is going to be disassembling my Majesty donor scooter for the engine swap. Here goes nothing. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment, but it's supposed to be like almost 100 degrees tomorrow, so I might as well try to knock this out tonight. Let me find my tools here. Oh, there we go. Again, my Harbor Freight, my favorite tool from Harbor Freight right now, the little mini ratcheting bit driver set. Oh, this will come in handy. So we'll start at the top and work our way down. I'll make it easy on myself. As easy as I can, I guess. And you'll find a bin to put my hardware in. Oh yeah, I guess I gotta do my International Delight Reese's Iced Coffee plug, because that's the only way I'm gonna get through this thing. Alright, back at it. I also had to find my favorite gloves too, man. I love these. I gotta find out what brand they are. They're perfect. They're not easy to tear, and I can still do the touch functions on my phone with them. Now I don't know if this is going to pop off here. It should. Should pop up off of here. They're fastening up in there. Of course, yeah, always get stuck up on the small stuff. Always get stuck up on the small stuff. Where's my little tool thing? Here we go. I should have grabbed the power drill driver for this stuff, but this will give the working man some appreciation, I guess. Now, as I go, I'm just taking whatever broken panels there are and just tossing them. They will be discarded in the garbage. Okay, so that panel's broke. All right, let's go for the handlebar controls real quick. Actually, let me leave that tight in there. Get the mirror off of there. That way that junk clamp that is broke can just be tossed. See, like that bent that bolt right there. So that sucks. Toss that in the garbage. Rotate that. Let's see if I can get to the last one. Bent bolts, bent bolts. Now I do need the parking brake thing off there. See what size that is. I think that's going to be an 8 or a 10. That's the size. See if it breaks it loose. Ugh. Ah, that's tough. That's tough. I might put a bar on that just to see. Well, I don't know. Oh, there we go. I decided to go ahead and get a 3/8 drive so I didn't tear my little one up early into this project. Oh, there we go. And it went on the other side where I need it on this side, so perfect. See, sometimes things do work out on these projects. Sometimes they work out. And sometimes they don't. In this case, kind of worked out. Come on, this side's a little rusty. So am I, apparently. Apparently I'm rusty. Hi, my name's Rusty. That should be my online persona. Some dude named Rusty. Hey, Rusty. Hey, some dude named Rusty. Now, what do I want to do? I think I want to take the handlebar controls and everything off up here just to get it all out of the way. I should have brought power tools, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm hurting without them yet. There goes the 8. Let's see if this is a 6 or... That's a 7. That's a 6. Oh, yeah, they're loose. Can't beat that. Loose handlebar bolts. Well, this thing was in a collision, so maybe that's why they're loose. There we go. That does not want to move. That one don't want to move. But I got my handy dandy breaker bar. Does this void my Harbor Freight warranty? The Who Owl might know. Who knows if this will void my Harbor Freight warranty? Who? Alright, now we need to figure out what screws undo this thing. Pretty sure it's this one. All this stuff might come in handy later. Or I can hook somebody up that's trying to fix one of these, because I really won't need all this scruff. Now my thing is when I get the handlebar controls out, is to put the hardware right back in them. Because these are special. These are special length screws. And anytime I try to, you know, find them to replace something, I can never find them. Aye, aye, aye. Okay, I'm going to pull the bars. I'm going to pull the bars to get to that. Let me see what I got to do here. One is the Phillips. Back here. Aye, aye, aye. Well, there's two of those, and then this one. I don't want to go. That don't want to go. But it will. It will for sure. Now, what's kind of hurting me on some of these screws for the controls is that I'm not actually using the correct tool for it. I'm not using the JIS driver, the Japanese industrial standard bit. I'm using a Phillips because I don't have JIS drivers here. So, well, and there we go. Well, ain't that a pain? Ain't that a pain? Oh, at least I know where it's at. Okay, there's that one. And there's that one. Okay. At least with this one, I can take it up out of here. Well, no, I can't. Not with that cable being hooked up. Well, well, well. Let's save that one for later. Okie dokie. Let's see what we got here. I need to take this tray base out of here. And that's held on by another JIS screw. Another JIS fastener that the Phillips doesn't perfectly fit. I kind of want to plug this cluster back in just to see what the mileage was on it anyhow. I don't know if this battery's got enough charge to do that. Let's see if she held any charge at all. Let's see here. Okay, this was the ignition. And there was that one. There was another one. Oh, that one's switched together. Okay. And then there's my other one. Alrighty. So here we go. Okay, there's that. There's that. Let's see if we get any power. Any power at all. Nope, that battery is bad, so we're going to have to try to hook up a charger to get some power to it. Got a little power. 32871. I just want to bring this over there to show. Oh, where'd the mileage go? Three two eight seven one odometer. There it is. Okay, and back to it. Got this thing undone. It looks like this is designed for this handlebar clamp to be completely undone before these will come up out of here. So that's what I'm going to do. There's that. Jeez. Come on. Oh yeah, now the throttle cable's got to go up through here. Oh yeah. That's just wonderful. Alright, so it'd be easier to get this side off. Get this side up out of here and slip these bars. There we go. Of course, this thing's undamaged, so I don't want to really tear this up without properly tearing it up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let me see if I can get this cable out of here. Oops. Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, everything's designed with a special fitment here. I'm gonna turn this sideways to get the cable to line up to be able to pop out. And there's that. Okay, here we go. We're getting somewhere. All right, this upper cowl is broken, so we don't really have to worry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and take this corner screw loose. There's that. There's that. Is the cluster broke? Cluster's broke. Okay, everything's tore up here. Let me see how tore up this is where it's connected to the other panel. Oh, this is the whole same panel. So the only thing good on this thing is the actual like glove box lid. So I'm gonna go for pulling the glove box lid off. And that's the only salvageable piece right there. And the rest of this 10mm bolt right there, and she's done. That whole piece gonna get chucked. Which sucks. It sucks it so much. I might keep the cluster just in case it has anything to do with it running, which it won't in my application, but just in case. All the plastic trim doodad stuff will not matter. And actually, I think what I'm gonna do here is there's a middle panel. Just like that. And I'm gonna keep any clips I can find. That's one thing I will do with these panels is strip them for any clips or screws. Because these green, like anodized Jap bike screws can be kind of costly, like a couple of dollars per screw. And it's kind of absurd. I'm not going to pay a couple of dollars per screw later on while I can just harvest them now. That's what we're doing, fastener harvesting. That's what we're doing right now, guys. Fastener harvesting. Of course, this screw's got a... that screw has a piece of dirt stuck in it. So now I got to find something to pry the dirt out of it to be able to get in it. Alrighty, what else we got going on here? These clips I told you all about. Getting them out of the plastic and onto the keep tray. This is broke. Yeah, it's cracked, so man, none of this up front is really gonna stay or be kept. Hopefully the headlight. Oh, nope, headlight has a broken tab. Jesus, I can't keep anything off of this. This is all bad. All bad. Like this, a 10 millimeter body fastener, right? With the captive like clip nut thing on it. Keeper. Harvesting that. Crank this up to get that thing off. Ah. And of course it doesn't want to come up off there. There we go. I'm trying to keep it clean. Trying to keep it clean. This is where a power tool would definitely come in handy. Well, thank you. It's a hardware dispenser. That's I love it when it just drops it right at your feet. Sheesh. Can't beat that. Also, rubber grommets on these things keep everything. I harvest everything. And then if you have no use for it later, throw it away later, but that's just where I'm at with it. Heck, I used to go to the junkyard and go to the motorcycle and power sports section just to harvest fasteners, man. Just to harvest a pile of bolts. And we gotta use this thing right here. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. Bam. The only thing I like about doing this way versus like a power tool is I tend to drop more stuff with the power tool because it's just zipping them out so fast. And then you go to try and catch them and they just fumble and fall on the ground. It's just like, sometimes by hand is a little quicker, actually. Am I going to use this or is this too scuffed up? Nope, it's got a crack. Might just end up tossing this thing. We shall see. We shall see. Okay. That's where the fasteners are for that. Let's see, is that? Oh yeah, it's a 4 mil Allen. Okay. I forgot. I missed one. There we go. That should be the last one. Holds the whole front clip up on there. I hate when they do that. What's that? There's one more, and the rest of them were broke off. All right, there. And then this will kind of show you what was I talking about. Oh, these little things, these captive like nuts are threaded on the inside. They have like a brass thread. I like to keep those because those aren't cheap either. Now let me see here. How am I going to get my clips? Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to harvest the rest of these out of here later time. Because that's just going to take time away from making this video. Okay. How this thing unplugs. Push button. Clip and it pops out. Put the... I don't know if I want to keep this front stay assembly intact with the wires. And I might just do it like that. Keep it intact with the wires. I might not, I don't know. That way all the relays and stuff stay in order. Headlight 1. Headlight 2. That to the side for a moment. This is broken, so let me see here. What are we keeping here? That was the lock release for something. Oh, it was a seat release. That's what that cable is for. I'll keep that. Seat release cable. And that tray looks undamaged. I might keep that to the side. This one's all damaged. I will not be keeping that. Yeah, no. There's a couple grommets on here I'll keep. This thing. Push that grommet through. Get my 4 mil. Undo those 2. I think they're 4s. There we go. Broken tabs. Let me see. Now this glove box is like heat glued together. I might just keep that panel for right now. And the glove box clips are, I think they're Phillips held in, but they have this weird foam adhesive on them. Now, if any of you guys have any projects like this, you know, feel free to post your links to your videos, but only, and I mean only, after you like, comment, share, and subscribe to me. Please. Thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. It's like that guy that has, what do you call it? He makes these videos of these. All you hear in your head is somebody singing a Rio, the Young OG song in an Elvis voice or whatever. I think it's hilarious. I can't say what he makes videos about because I might get this. It might affect my channel, but if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. I'm going to sound kind of mental for that, but his channel is, and his content is a bit mental. There's that. What is the other Phillips head screw that holds some junk together here? There we go. Alrighty. That was damaged. Oh, this has clips. That's right. That's what I knew. I knew I seen something here. Small clips. There we go. There's one. There's two. Don't see any more. Alright, that can go kind of last. 14 mil, 14 mil. I don't know what I'm going to do here on this. I think I'm just going to start grabbing and twisting on zip ties at this point. Get some of this stuff freed up. Except for these zip ties. These ones that are like OEM release ties. These are awesome. OEM harness ties. You can release them. You can release any zip tie if you use the right tool. But these are awesome. I got my second one of the day. Well, third because I got the other one earlier. Yeah. I don't know if I want to find a razor so I can release some of these other ties. All right, back to it. All righty, back to it. I'm gonna do it to it. Now what I'm doing is I'm going along, and anywhere there's a tie that holds a wire harness to the frame and has a special clip, I'm releasing it. Because you can do that. You can release a zip tie. You just got to push the tab down and pull the rest of it back through. Getting everything freed up now. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, now at this point I can loosen that battery back up and get rid of that. That thing didn't take a charge, so that's junk. Now that's another thing you should always keep out of a junk battery hardware. Man, those rectangular captive nuts in there, or try to find those when you need one. I'm serious, like really, try to find that when you need it for a project. Non-existent. And always keep those bolts with them. Dump that out of the battery, put the bolts back in it, and put them in a mayonnaise jar. I know Nick will find that one funny. And so will Mr. McHenry, my D-bag science teacher from high school. He was obsessed with putting stuff in mayonnaise jars. Ex-military, sir, yes, sir. McHenry, what was his name? J McHenry. Old Goofy. Oh, he was. He was a goofy. He was a goofy. Look at that. Look at that. Look how easy. Look how easy that's going. Harness is pulling right back out. Now, let's see what goes to the motor. See what goes to the motor. Oh, that has to go to the starter because it's a big gauge. It's a big gauge. And then this little wire is a battery tender wire, which I'm going to pop off there. We're saving zip ties now. OCD me came out. We're saving zip ties. Oh no. 1,000 pack of zip ties is what? $20 now? Oh, actually, that one we ain't gonna save. That one's being too much of a pain. So, carefully cut it. Taking our battery tender lead and saving that somewhere. And throwing the zip tie away. Ah, I threw away my first zip tie. Ah. Battery tray. Now we got 2 8mm there. 2 8s. Pop a 10, pop an 8. Pop a 10. Pop a 10. Get this tail light off before I damage it. If it's not already damaged, that might be worth like $2. Woo, $2. Wow. That was a clean removal. I don't see any broken tabs. Good. Pop the clips off of this before those go flying and missing. Sheesh. right, there's that, nice and clean. Okay, put that down there. Oh, more clips, more clips. We'll get to them clips. The heck? The heck? Those don't want to move. Okay, I'll get them later. I know I'm not going to lose them if they're that stuck. Go back to the 10. See if this whole... See, stuff like this too, you got to keep it because it's a metric. I think 6mm bolt, 1.25 pitch, 10mm hex head with a built-in washer, and it's a shoulder bolt. That's a heck of a plastic holding fastener right there. Wildest one in the West. What else do we have here? One more up in there. Oh, of course it's a different one. Of course it's a 5mm. Whatever you want to call it. Allen head. Another thing I don't think is broke at all, so we will put it to the side. Alrighty. There's that. Oops. Okay. What else do we got here that can be taken off with a 10mm? Just gonna loosen everything 10mm I see. Slide this one. I think the engine unbolts. Its cradle unbolts from there. But this airbox cover is broke, so we can kind of do away with that at least. What else can I do away with? I want to keep the engine and rear wheel assembly kind of together. I know that much. Let me just see what I want to do here. A lot of push pins that are nice. You push them in and release them. I like those. And I think my best bet would be to undo these coolant hoses right here. and let them hang down and drain because the radiator's up here, and kind of just go with that, rock with that kind of outlook on the draining of the coolant. I think that's what I'm gonna do when I get to that point. All right, so that was the cover. That to the side, swing that off there. Swing that way, that way. Keep the grip. Pop the cables out. If it'll let me. There we go. Now, let me find that cover that went in there. Just like that. Put these two screws back in like I mentioned earlier. Two long ones. Two long ones. Not seeing the other long one right now. Choo, choo, choo. I know there was two long ones. That's what it was held in by. Maybe it was. No, there it is. There's the other long one. Keep that all together, like I mentioned before. I think I'm just going to try and keep my tools and hardware and stuff up here, fasteners, keep them up top, and put any of the other, like, you know, hard parts, cores, stuff like that down there. Okay, cables are coming through the hole in the plastic. There we go. Now this thing's about free. Oh my God, are you kidding me? The brake line has to be unhooked and pulled through this thing. I can't believe they did that. What a stupid thing to do. And they only did it with the one side. And I might just take it off. I might just do that right now, just to get it out of the way. I knew it. I knew it couldn't be that easy. I knew it couldn't be that easy. There we go. Keep it up high. You shouldn't lose anything. Maybe a couple drops, if that. Set that down like that. There we go. That doesn't have any clips in it. Okay. All right, let me see what else I gotta do for that. And I'll also kind of show you a trick to keeping brake lines from leaking off. Let me go get them. All right, well, I couldn't find them, but what I usually do is get a set of foam earplugs and I twist them, put them, you know, a single one, put it in there and let it expand. That'll hold it enough to get by till you're done doing whatever you're doing. But I need to, right now, I need to get some of this stuff pulled through here. Get this freed up. Break the other brake line loose. Do the same thing. Get the crush washers. Make sure they're on there. Come on, buddy. Now this one doesn't even, the tab's way up in there, so it's like hard to get to the zip tie. All right, got that one. Got that clip. Alrighty then. Now it's getting more tedious because you got the bolts that are like in there more. And I'm like, where was I? Yeah, that's where I was, right there. That one. Might use this to make a beat. That's the horn my ratchet's hitting. It's funny, it actually kind of made like a little cymbal sound. And I can technically unplug the horn here from the harness. And unbolt the horn from the bracket. That bracket's part of the front stay bracket, okay. Now, that brake line over here, it hasn't leaked yet, so I'm not too worried about the brake line this far. Now, it shouldn't leak theoretically until I get it down kind of closer to below the caliper. But my goal is to not like even get it that far. Keep that end up high. And release the rest of these clips is the goal. I'm gonna see what this is. I don't know, it has like, oh, it's a speed sensor. That's what it is coming down here. It has an electronic speed sensor. That's what it is. It's not a cable-driven speedometer. Time to pop this over here. Now is where we can kind of free up the entire front end when it gets to that point. And now I can put my banjo bolt back on. Whoops. Check out my crush washers. And those are on there. This going back on. And we're good. Didn't even barely leak a drop. Although it could probably use bled after that. Okay. Let that hang. Move the light harness here. I don't even really need to be removing these harnesses, but I am. And I think at this point I'm just going to undo that upper stay and leave those things attached. Is this a 3/8 drive? There's that. There's the hardware for that there. And on the other side, on that side, it's like a captive bolt. It's held in by like a square hex. And this side, it's just a 14mm nut. So easy enough. Again, had a hardware dispenser right at my feet. Okay, there's that. There we go. Now look at that. Look how that harness is just peeling off of there. Now where does this go? We're going to find out. We're going to find out because she's going to start coming out here soon. Oh, and there's more push pins. More push pins. I'll turn this off for a second. I love these push pins. These are nifty. You back them all the way out to install them, and then you push them flush to engage them, and then you push them even further in to disengage them, and they pop right back out. Love them. And I can only imagine those are like $3 a piece, so I'm saving those. Save all the unbroken stuff. So there's that. See where this harness goes to. This goes to the coil. And I'm not sure if I can get to this from the outside. Ay, ay, ay. I can't really see, so I'm going to have to find out. And rip more stuff off. There's a bunch of cracked stuff over here, so we're going to take away broken pieces again. I need to get my Phillips. Or JIS driver. For the politically correct folks. I need to get a JIS set for my backpacker pack out. Alrighty then. I need to. Yeah, there we go. I need to just carry my small kit with me here at this point. What is it? Changing between, the JIS screws and Allens. You need everything for these bikes. One thing I do like is everything is, pretty tight tolerance, and that makes for a safe bike. Is the reality of it. There we go. Got the coil out. Almost. Yeah, we got it. I'm grabbing hardware here and put it there. Okay. See if I can release this one. There we go. I got it released. Got another zip tie. Another zippy tie. Zippy tie, yeah, zippy tie, yo. Oh man, it's a couple different connectors it's got to get to here. Where are we going here? Old kickstand sensor is one. Here's the other one. The other one's a fuel pump connector, which I'll leave on the fuel pump. I'll unplug this side so that doesn't get dirty. And this one was pretty corroded, so that right there might have been some of our issue of not getting pump prime. I don't know. And there's a 5, I think, mil Allen here. There we go. There's that. I'm putting everything on that thing because I can just fold it up and scoop it and dump it on that tray. There's my parking brake cable. I need one of those for my other one. I'll pull the easiest cable without the bracket on it through first. Pull the grommet, frame grommets out. Oops, there we go. Okay, now the wire harness is pulling. Gotta see what else is in the front here. 10 mil. Holds the front shroud in. Oh, and this plug that I was waiting to get disconnected went to the voltage regulator, which is also held in by 210. So we'll get that out of there. I didn't get a chance to test that to see if it worked, but I believe, yeah, I didn't get a chance to check the charging function of anything. There's that. Ay, come on. I'm out. There we go. Let's see if there's anything else with a 10 mil I can get to up under here that takes a 10 mil. I don't think so. I'm just 10 millimeter hunting right now. Pulling any broken covers off. Okay. That's garbage. This is solid. Couple solid pieces here. I think I can kind of leave most of that stuff hooked up. Let me see here. Let me see what's going to the motor and what's going to have to be kind of separated. I think nothing really. Nothing. I can pass this whole thing back through the rear here, I think. Nah, not yet. We ain't there yet. But almost. Okay, I could probably undo the rear shock, but that's going to let it swing up. Just trying to work logistics in my head here. Take the footrest things off. Down more 10s. Okie dokie. Okay. I think now I'm about to the point of wanting to try to drain the coolant, because the whole cooling system runs under it, and I'm going to need to be, well, under it. Where do I want to put all my stuff? Okay. And this is what I like about these mats. I can go up and down. Now we got a nice clean area all over again. Okay, dump. Now I need to see where the lower hose for the radiator. Oh, the lower hose is on the other side, so I'm going to start at the other side as far as popping a coolant hose loose. Grab my bin here, and I'm going to get ready to pop the cap. Let me just take that loose. There's that. Get my pliers to loosen the hose. These. See what that lower shield needs to take off. Uh-oh. Well, that sucks because I kind of want to keep that intact, but I think I just cracked it. I don't know how it goes though. Let me slide off. It's hard to. Ah, I see the radiator. I think the radiator has to be moved for. I just cracked it a little bit. Oh well. That's what I get for being impatient, I guess. You could say this would be easier with the lift or, you know, whatever with the bike up off the ground, but not really because of the weight of the engine and stuff. It's easier to do stuff like this on the ground, maybe with the motorcycle jack, but I'm going to bring a pallet over here when I'm ready and get up underneath there. And there's that. I don't know, as dirty as this coolant kind of looks, I don't even know whether it's worth. I'm going to capture it, but I don't know if I'm going to save it. Excuse me. Excuse moi. Alrighty. Alrighty. Okie dokie, here we go. Popping the coolant line loose. All the way. Whew. There's where we go. Oh, there we go. Now, if I can manage to drain every bit of coolant out of this thing without getting a drop on the ground, I will be surprised. This has coolant lines running all the way from the front to the back and everything. It's got them everywhere. While that's draining, I'm going to see if I can break some of these 14mm bolts that are everywhere loose. And this thing got folded by the looks of it. Folded, I mean. Folded. I don't even think I'm going to need to take this off for any reason, honestly. Other than to harvest these bolts. I really should have used power tools on this just to be like that transmission dude that just rips through stuff. Yeah. Getting her done. Right, let's see if I can. I don't know where that goes. I don't know where that goes. Man. That one's tight. Puts a socket. Directly on there and blow my nose. Oh, that's right. There's one of me. And there's that. Where's the... There we go. Come on. What I like to do with these, if I can, just take the nut in the washer. I might just leave it kind of loose like that. Since this is part of the same cradle, just take this one out entirely. Do the same on the other side. Grab my breaker bar. Break it loose a little bit. Turn that the opposite way. Oh, that's right. So I like to hold those in there. Let me see here. Yeah. That has a spanner on the inside of it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to lower that part of the cradle because it has the spanner. There's like an insert in there. Now on this side, I can actually pull that bracket off. Let me see here. Because it's not bent up, so I'll keep, well, it is bent up a little bit, but at least I have the four, I'll be able to harvest 4 bolts out of it. Get her done. Now, let me see where this bolt goes to. It's hard to keep track of some of this stuff. Like, this stuff has some weird mounts. Weird mounts in places and stuff. And yeah, it's all weird. I might be ready to lower this out of here pretty soon. Not 100% sure, but I'm thinking I might be almost there. Almost. That's a doozy. I feel like straining to get that thing broke loose. Break that loose. There's that one. Oi, oi, oi. That rubber grommet's kind of twisting, so I know there's some load on that one. I finally broke my first pair of gloves. This one's got a hole in it too. Time to take a coffee break in here. Sometimes you just gotta treat yourself. That's some tasty stuff. For some pre-made stuff, you can definitely do better with your own like syrup, because I've made better. But for some pre-made stuff, $5 a box. It's hard to beat, and it'll keep you up. I've already tried it. I know. All right, back to work. I feel like that like doctor from The Simpsons. I think his name's Dr. Nick. Hi, Dr. Nick. These aren't supposed to be directional, but I feel like that one looks like more of a right-handed one. I don't know if these are, I think these are universal fit right or left. This one looks like the thumb was already in the right hand orientation. All right, there we go. Time to be a doctor. Oh, yeah, that's a 10 millimeter on the bottom. What the heck? And all kinds of conflicts. Okay, there's that. Let's see, I lost an 8 millimeter somewhere in the mix. Now that's gonna drive me crazy not knowing where that is. Maybe it's in the Maybe it's in the box. Oh, there it is, close enough. Next to it. And this exhaust has a 10 down here. That. Leave it hang by the top one. See if we can get it by the bottom here. The heck is this stuff? Oh, somebody put some hot glue on that caliper. Probably to stop the pads from chattering. The pads in this thing probably chattered at an idle because it's a big single 4-stroke. Because they have hot glue on the edge of the brake pad back there. Definitely somebody was paranoid about the jingle. Alrighty. I feel like we're on home stretch now. Set this to the side. I don't know that I'll be using that again. Now I can see this is your outboard support bracket. Very nice to have. Also your second shock holder. These have RFY shocks. I think those are actually pretty decent shocks. At any rate, time to start loosening. I think it's time to start loosening the rear suspension up. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do here, how I want to do it. Actually, I'm going to do these coolant lines first. That's what I'm going to do. Once I get that one out of the way, well, I'm going to do them on the engine side. Heck with it. Water pump side, whatever you want to call it. That is the water pump inlet and outlet right there. At least the water pump's easy to access on this. Put my tool back over this way. Put my tool back. Put my tool back. I like when they put a spring on the outside of the hose. You know, it makes it a little bit harder to get to the hose. To twist it off. I like hose support springs. 100% a fan. I think every rubber hose should have one. Doesn't matter the application. Broke that loose. This one broke loose. Oh, there I got a drop on the floor. I already lost my bet with myself. And that hose I didn't need to take loose. That one goes around to the block. So that one will be getting tightened back up for now. I should have paid a little more attention. But I'm cheap, so I don't like to pay. Now, this whole donor bike was $200, and the guy lied about having it running because there's no way he had it running, but I did. So I'm not mad about the purchase, even though it has almost 33,000 miles on it. They're known to be decent motors, so not mad about what I'm in it for. I do want to get this hose loose for sure. Top here. I think I'm good on it. I think I'll probably only lose a little bit of coolant at any. And I was right, a little bit, a few drops. And this one over here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this entire clamp off on this one. Oh, come on. I thought by taking the lowest hose off, I'd be saving myself from leaks. I guess not. Let me go find something to catch something. I found another one of these little blue bins. Hopefully that'll work to catch it. Although this pipe's coming out right by the kickstand, so it might not work to catch it. Oh, that's catching that one. Yeah. This is working for that. All right, take that off of there. I don't think we're freed up at the motor. Yeah, we're kind of freed up at the motor. I think at this point the motor can probably move back. But I really want to try and get this last bolt out here. There we go. Hey, Dr. Nick. Hi, Dr. Nick. I think my ADD or ADHD or OCD, whatever it is, really enjoys the tearing apart aspect and kind of enjoys putting it back together. But I'm very particular, especially with like engine stuff, because I only like to do it once and I want it to run really good. So it makes the putting it back together process kind of tedious, if you will. One I gotta put two back in here, and since that's already broke, that kind of makes that a little bit easier. I think. Yep, there we go. Oh, I'm glad I didn't run that too long, because look at that puppy. There was something living in there. I kind of don't want to... I kind of want to see, but I don't want to see. I don't want to dump it out on myself. Look at that. That was somebody's home. A little mousy guy. And he was not in there. I'm glad Mr. Mouse did not get sucked up into the engine. And he moved along and hopefully had a happy life and a million little kids. Cleaning Mr. Mouse's house is exactly what that noise is. Okay, now we can get back to whatever else I was doing. Because that goes to the throttle body, so, but the previous person had to boot off of the throttle body. So what I might do is, once I get this all out, I might take these off and just put a cap over the throttle body. But for right now, let's see what we got here. 17. And I think the other side is an 8 or 10 mil. We'll find out here in a second. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. 8mm Allen. And I gotta find the ratchet to go with that. Hey, come on, boy. Well, these look like some custom brackets, man. These look like some custom-made brackets. I'm gonna have to look this up, because I don't think these are the factory shocks for the rear. I could be wrong, but I do not think these are the factory shocks. I could be very wrong, but this don't quite look like something factory. Not quite. No, there's no way. This might actually have good shocks on the rear of it. Wow. I might have got even luckier than I thought by buying this thing. Okay, there we go. There's the two main bolts. And take the other, I might as well take the other two bracket bolts off. Get her done. Yeah, see, there we go. I was waiting for that. Waiting for that action. Okay. Okay, there's that. Might as well just stand here and do this. Okay, so I know that has a 17mm nut on it. And this has a 17mm. I think this whole cradle will come down once I unbolt that. I'm pretty sure that's separate from Yeah, that's separate from the front half, so actually at this point I need to get the exhaust unbolted up here. I need to get that unbolted up there. Alright, let me go find the 12 millimeter. 12 millimeter. Well, there's a 12. 12 millimeter. Well, let's. I'm just going to work with what I. It's a 12 on one end, 14 on the other. Yeah, it's a wrench. I don't think I can get in anywhere with this. Oh, yeah, I can. We can get to one. Up here. Huh. Alright, it fell. Who cares? Who cares where it fell? The other side's broke loose already, so let's go. Come on, you're gonna drain everywhere but the pans, both of them. Come on. Well, I'm saying this ain't really the ideal tool, but it is a 12 millimeter, and it does fit the fastener, so it is what it is. It ain't perfect, but it works. There we go. That's a nice header. I might keep that to build something off of. Crush washer don't look like it was blown by anywhere, so there we go. Crush washer's good. Now I gotta find out where that nut fell. And get that back on there, on the other side. Oh, it's even got like an EGR port on it. I think there's a fix for that. Where that other 12 for the exhaust went? Oh, there it is. I was gonna say it's beyond me, but it's not beyond me. It's right there in front of me. I'm gonna go the other way. So I'm gonna push it out that way. Oh, yo. And she's back on. Okay. Now the only other thing left here for me is to pop this steel line off. Just a high pressure line already kind of popped off here. That's not good. It's not good at all. when the high pressure line pops off. That could have been a fire, really. Let's see here. What does it take to get it to pop up out of here? Got 3 clips. One of which has already popped. There's a safety clip. And 2 others. 2 others that gotta be pushed. With flatheads. Let's see if I got another flathead. Since I'm doing it on this side. Pop the fuel line up off of there. There's one more 10mm bracket that holds the fuel line. And that fuel smells stale, so who knows? Maybe the pump is bad, but the plug was getting power when I checked it, so who knows? Who knows? There's that. And now I gotta fish my throttle cable back through here. What I like to do is loop them. Loop my throttle cables. Kind of tight loop. And there we go. It's kind of organized. And now we can pop those loose. And this thing should drop. There's an 11/16. Oh yeah, baby. Gotta pop this off of here. Whatever sensor that went to. And I know it's risky business wearing slides doing this, but oopsie daisies. There's that side. And this side has a rubber cover on it. Need a screwdriver to pry that off. Screwdriver to pry that off. Come on. Really? Goofy rubber cover. I bet you, I knew it was going to bounce out of that tray. I knew it. I can never throw a rubber grommet, even gently, without it. Boing! Right back up out of where I try to throw it. Watch the hose balance. Nope, the hose didn't balance. Come on. There we go. I don't know if this is going to pop out of here now or not. Theoretically, I think it should drop. Maybe I gotta lift. I should probably lift up on the rear end a little bit. What? Ah! Oh, the nut's down on the motor now. Okie dokie. It should come down. I'm thinking that's what the pressure is on this. I'm gonna try to pry out on a little bit with this. Now, oh, it hurt my arm doing that. I want to do that. I think that's my best bet. It's coming out. There we go. There we go. I'm pretty sure it's out. It is. It is. It's out. It's out. I can do this thing. Well, actually, I might move this back. Got to pull a vacuum line here. The throttle body. Oh, that's another thing that's holding it up. I needed to pass this through. It's a bit all part of the kit here. Oh, this fuel line. Man, that's the stupidest thing. There's like two brackets back to back. That's like, bro, It's supported by the first one. Come on. There we go. There we go. Kind of a, at the point where it's like get your feet out from underneath it as quick as you can. There's the cable. I'll blow my nose again. I know all mechanics can relate to the mechanic nose blow. Oh yeah. And same thing with the brake line. Loop her up, and tie it into itself for the time being. Lay it on top of the motor. This motor's heavy. Boy, is that heavy. Just get that out of the way. Now is where I really need actual shoes. I'm running the risk of losing another toenail. That's right, I said another. Oh man, the front of it's heavy. The front of this motor is heavy. I can't. There's that. Okay, it's 100% free now. For sure, positive about that. Ah, man, what the heck? Of course, the fuel line keeps bouncing around, getting tangled on something. It's like, come on, dude. Stay put somewhere. Ugh. All right. Oh man, heavy. Whew. It's a heavy motor. Heavy motor. Shoo-wee. Excuse me. I'm just trying to get on the pallet. Come on, baby. No hernia today, please. I can't even get a good grip on it. There we go. Okay, that puppy is out. Now, time to do the rest, I guess. Now, let me see. I think I need a 24 or 27 for that headset bearing. Here's a 22. We'll see how close that is. 24. 24. Well, I'll try 27 for the. Oh, it is 27. All right. Let's see if I can break her loose with this. And hopefully, I don't break the ear. I'm trying to keep this stack in order. And that's a press fit. I can't remember how I got that the last one off. Pretty sure there's a special puller for that. But that's actually not super imperative right now. That. Make sure that nut is no longer sitting on the engine. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think to change the fuel tank in one of these or get to the sending unit, you have to split the frame on these, like the upper and lower half. Man, that would be a pain. That would be a mega pain to do. I hope the scooter I'm putting it into isn't like that. I haven't really looked up that far. Which I really don't think I need any more of this. This is mainly just hardware harvesting again. To have spare bolts and whatnot. Spare bolts, clips, brackets. I'm glad to see that those shocks are potentially higher end aftermarket shocks. That was a nice surprise. I seen them the other day, but I didn't see the brackets. Now that I'm looking, those brackets are homemade. Somebody cut those out, sanded the edges, and well, it looks like they cut them out with a die grinder, or I mean an angle grinder. Well, could have been a die grinder, I suppose. This out. Oh, I don't want to take the rest of the brackets the rest of the way off. Put these back together kind of how they went. See, like these were custom cut and ground. Like these did not go to this scooter initially. Because the stock shock had, yeah, the stock shock was mounted with a U-shaped eyelet on both sides. Well, that's neato, dude. Well, that's neato. I'm going to look those shocks up and see how much better they actually are. Put those together. them on the hardware cart. Oh, come on, all the way back to the back here. All the way back is where it's rolling. That 14's out already. Now I think this will lift right up off of here at this point. Yeah. Pretty near darn sure. But I'm going to go ahead and pull the cable. Last cable through. Oh yeah, that's right. These have the spanners up front here. I'm not sure if they're loose enough to wiggle through or not. We'll find out here in a minute. Come on, puppy. There's that. Put that back on filler nick. Again, I don't know how that. Oh, I see that plastic piece mounts with 2 10s, and the one's already broke, so now I don't feel so bad about yanking on it earlier. Okay, all these screws can go into the bin. Of course, that bolt fell in the coolant bin. Wouldn't be a fun night without hardware falling into the coolant or oil bin. You gotta love it. Oops, sticking to my magnet on the mic. I'll have to do this. I'll have to do that. There we go. That. There's a coolant pipe bracket held on by a tin. That. Now I'm gonna try and get this not to spill too dang much. I think we're clear on the radiator coolant pipe situation. Okay, now I need to see. Oh, there we go. See what I'm saying? See it fall? There's a spanner nut in there that tightens up against the frame, and then a bolt goes through it. It's kind of a unique, like, pinch support situation. A lot of bikes are like that, if not almost all of them. Maybe not Harleys. Now. Here's another one of them clips. Unique clips. That's garbage. And there it is. And there's the tank and subframe assembly, whatever you want to call it. There we go. I don't even think I really need that. I'd like to try and get this broke loose. I don't even need the subframe. I just wanted to keep the tank in case it's the same as the other one, or I need the sending unit or the connectors. Let me see if I can get that popped off there. That's my next goal. Find something to pop it off there with. Alrighty, I don't know if this will work, but it's a tapered fit. Hopefully I'm not bending. Nah, I'm not bending it. Not yet, at least. And it's keyed. There's a keyway, a Woodruff key on it. There we go. And we're just going to knock these loose. The first one. And that goes on there. Second one, oh, there's a rubber spacer. upside down, upside down. Now, I'll move this over so I don't step in it. I can't remember. I don't think this is threaded. I think that's just bearing right there. I kind of want to find a block to set this up on. So I can get the front end off the ground. Now, what I'm going to try and do here, not that, it's not what I was going to try and do, is find the 27 millimeter nut that was on top of here and put that right about flush. Feel it so it's right about flush. That way you can't mushroom the threads. Put a little bit of leverage on the back. Just like that. And that's the inner race up top. Drop that down on there. Now the outer races are still in the frame. I don't know if I'm going to knock them out of there. I think I'd do more damage trying to knock them out. But we're going to go back on with our stack. Here, let me move so you can see. In the reverse order that it was in. Let me just try and see if I can see. Okay, so the cleanest side was towards that. So we're going to go there. Like that. I'm pretty sure this was like this. It was with the rubber thing down because I set everything back upside down. So there's that. And then this back like that. And then that back like that. Oops. And then You could put the yoke and the Woodruff key on, but it's really just this and this. And that's it. That's the donor bike disassembly. Hopefully that helps someone, or at least inspires you to try something yourself. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching.